Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. So, in my last video, I talked about the fact that the United States is conducting war games in 17 time zones concurrently across the planet. And again, that is only the Navy and the Marines. That doesn't even include the Army, the Air Force, or the National Guard. Just a moment, I think I brought up the wrong thing here. Let me get back to that. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I had to make some adjustments here. All right, so let me bring this up. And, all right, Iran and China signed 25-year cooperation agreement. All right, China and Iran, both subject to U.S. sanctions, signed a 25-year cooperation agreement on Saturday to strengthen their long-standing economic and political alliance. All right, so here's this part. Our relations with Iran will not be affected by the current situation, but will be permanent and strategic. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi was quoted by Iran's state media as telling his Iranian counterpart, Mohammad Javad Zarif. All right, so let's go down here. All right. Well, I thought I had highlighted part of this. Anyway, Rouhani expressed appreciation of Beijing's support for Iran's position in its 2015 nuclear deal with world powers, in which it agreed to curb its nuclear program in return for the lifting of international sanctions. Cooperation between the two countries is very important for the implementation of the nuclear accord and the fulfillment of obligations by European countries. U.S. President Joe Biden has sought to revive talks with Iran on the nuclear deal abandoned in 2018 by his predecessor, Donald Trump, in 2018. All right, Tehran wants the sanctions that Trump imposed removed before any negotiations resume. The Biden administration has refused to lift any of these sanctions. All right, so Wang also said he promised that China would provide more coronavirus vaccines to Iran, the Middle Eastern country worst hit by the pandemic. So the coronavirus vaccine happens to be one of the things that has been sanctioned and denied to Iran under the previous and current administrations. Yes, during a pandemic, they have refused to provide vaccines to Iran. What do you think of that? Anyway, this is mostly a political and economic agreement because China is drawing Iran, along with Afghanistan and other countries, into the Belt and Road Initiative. And that is the biggest concern for the United States, because this impacts trade. The United States wants to impose and continue the dollar's hegemony. So Iran also said that they are against, what is this? How did they state it? All right, Iran decides independently on its relations with other countries and is not like some countries that change their position with one phone call. Who they are referring to is Saudi Arabia, who flip-flops according to whatever the United States dictates. So let me bring up something else here. I want to point out, I want you to look at a map here. Here's Iran. Here is Saudi Arabia. Now, we get a large part of our oil, of course, from Saudi Arabia. All of their oil that is shipped out comes through the Gulf of Oman. So if there is a conflict between Iran and Saudi Arabia, look who has control of the Gulf of Oman. Iran. Right here. This strait, right in here, they can block that strait and seize all oil flowing from Saudi Arabia. So, what would happen in such an event? So there are a lot of things that are going on with this, and I want you to notice that they don't even talk about, I mean, they're calling it a strategic alliance, but they're mostly talking about economics. And I don't know where the numbers are coming from because the details of this have been very secretive. This was actually supposed to have happened last year, but, it just now happened. Maybe the pandemic, maybe political influences delayed this. But at this point, it has happened, but the details are being kept under wraps. The discussion is that this is a non-binding agreement, but some numbers are talking about this will result in $400 billion US being provided in assistance in different forms to Iran. Okay, so let's say China builds or subsidizes the construction of additional oil refineries in Iran. Well, if those refineries or ships that are loaded with oil destined for China, then China, under international law, not some undefined U.S. dictate of rules-based order, but under international law, then China has the right to respond economically, politically, militarily against whoever attacks these refineries or oil tankers. If Saudi Arabia or Israel attack an Iranian tanker filled with oil destined for China, then China has the right to seize a Saudi tanker and to replace the oil and demand, if a tanker gets sunk, then they have the right to demand that the tanker be replaced. You sank this tanker, you replace it with one of yours. Or you pay for a new one, but a direct one-for-one replacement would be preferable because it takes a long time to build a new tanker. And during the time it takes to build it, obviously, no oil is being transported. And then they can also demand that the attacking country do the cleanup on this. So start thinking about these things. And so China could very well block the strait, the the Gulf, they could block the Gulf of Oman so that Saudi Arabia cannot transport any more oil out to the United States or Europe or any other country until this is made right. This is a very strategic agreement. I've made videos before that if the United States or Israel or Saudi Arabia, anyone declares war against Iran, Iran has got the upper hand independently. But you throw China into this mixture, and remember, Iran already has positive political agreements with Russia as well. And so does Afghanistan and Syria. They are not beholden to Western powers. In fact, all of these countries have said they want the United States out of the arena. They want them out. They want us out of the region. So while the United States is conducting war games, global war games, this is what other countries are doing. They are engaging in diplomacy. They are engaging in strategic agreements. They are making peaceful arrangements with one another. And this is all, under international law, not some rules-based order that is defined by the United States according to the whims of the United States and changes according to the whims of the United States government. So we engage in war games. They engage in diplomacy. We impose sanctions. They reach trade agreements. What do you think this is leading to? Keep in mind that when the SWIFT system was, which gives the U.S. dollar, it declares the U.S. dollar the reserve currency for the world. When the SWIFT system was imposed, then the United States said it would not be used as a weapon. And yet this is exactly what the United States has been doing for years and years. And by the way, that all started under Obama. It has expanded under Trump and is expanding even more under Biden. No sanctions, no tariffs have been removed under the current administration. We've only added more. And who pays for all of this? Who pays for the war games? Who pays for all the ships? Who pays for all the weapons? Who pays higher prices, inflation because of tariffs, because of sanctions, because we limit our trade with other countries, never mind the free market at all? Who pays for all of this? You do. I do. The American people pay for all of it. It's time to start looking at these things and thinking about them. Please share this video. Talk about these subjects. If you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.